Hi, my name's Diane Richardson. I'm from Working Class Canine, and I have been a New Hampshire Fish and Game licensed leash tracking dog handler since 2008. Prior to that, I was in AKC sport tracking, which is human tracking, for many years. I've been asked to do a short video on scent and dog tracking. Not sure how short this will be, but we'll give it a whirl. So dogs track in 3 different styles. The first one is footstep tracking, where the dog follows the heavy scent molecules that are left in the animal's actual footprint. And that animal will be the tightest to the animal's actual line. And the next is trailing, where the dog follows the broader scent path, which is both the heavy molecules that stay down in the footsteps and the lighter volatile molecules that blow around a little bit and get on vegetation and structure. They may not be exactly on the line, but they will be close to the line. And the third method is air scenting, and that is what search and rescue dogs mostly use, and bird dogs, where they are going by the drifted heavy, the drifted light scent molecules that are in the air itself. And we don't want a dog to depend on that for wounded game tracking, because that can blow around a lot and blow into like some dead ends where in the direction the animal is not. All the tracking dogs will utilize all 3 methods as conditions and age of the track and situation dictate, but they tend to track mostly in the form style that they're most comfortable with. So a dog that mostly footstep tracks will mostly footstep tracks and occasionally trail, and once in a blue moon it will air scent. A dog that typically trails will revert to footstep tracking if the conditions are difficult, and will use air scenting occasionally, like when they're close to a deer or a bed or something like that. But ideally, we want the dogs to either trail or footstep track. Both of those are good. Now, as far as scent goes, scent works like water and smoke combined. It is affected by terrain, which is the topography of the land. Hills, valleys, bumps up off the ground, elevation, that sort of thing. And scent can slide downhill, into valleys, into holes. It can blow uphill with thermals. It can do basically anything smoke or water could do, scent can do. And that's topography. Structure is things like log piles down trees, blowdowns, logging slash, brush piles, stone walls, boulders. Sometimes you get into an area of forest where the ground is up and down with little hollows that will hold water. That is structure. And structure can suck in scent and hold it in places where the deer isn't, but the dogs can get stuck on it. And then there is the vegetation itself. And going from a forest to an open grassy area is a change of vegetation. And the open areas can suck scent out. And the deer can walk past an open area and the scent can blow out into the open area. The deer can cross a logging road and the scent can suck down the logging road because it's a change in vegetation, a change in the ground type. Crossing roads, the same thing. The scent can suck up and down the roads. Pretty much anything water or smoke could do, scent will do. And you need to be aware of your situation so that you can say, this is what it looks like. We've tracked on the sides of steep hills sometimes, and the dogs keep getting sucked down and then come back up and sucked down and come back up, when the deer actually just went straight across the side of the hill. But the scent was doing something different. We can go by, start in a field and go by dense brush, and the scent will get sucked up under the brush and stay there, and the dog sometimes gets stuck there. You just need to be aware of what the structure and terrain is doing. Additionally, running water will pull scent down with the running water. Even if the animal crossed that running water and went uphill, the scent can go down. If you get stuck downstream and can't find the track, go back upstream and try that. Flat water, ponds, vernal pools, the scent will blow out over the top like a fog, and sometimes even catch on the other side. So keep that in mind. If you approach an area like that, the dog seems to be having trouble, the animal may have crossed that water, or it may just have walked alongside that water. Dryness kills scent. Hot, sun-baked, gravel, hot, sun-baked, open cuts, those are often very low scent areas, require a slower, sometimes quite a bit of searching to get across to those, depending on the dog and the ground dryness level. Dry snow sucks the scent out, but wet snow will hold the scent. Freezing temperatures can lock the scent of blood to the ground. If your blood is frozen, the scent is going to be very minimal. And sometimes the dogs can't make any headway when the ground is frozen, when the scent is frozen, when the blood is frozen. And if you go away and come back a little later in the day when everything's thawed out a little bit, then the dog just acts like it's a normal track. Humidity, light rain, those are great for scent. Those hold the scent to the ground, keeps it from blowing too far away. Smooth ice, paved roads can hold very minimal scent, so check the edges of those if your dog is having a hard time getting across. The ideal situation is above freezing and below 70. That's the ideal time, temperature wise, and it should have either rained recently or be humid. That's when your dog is going to perform the best. Our dogs can track on either side of those, but it just requires a lot more patience sometimes. Age can also affect the scent. The older the track gets, the less scent you have on the track. A fresh track, which is like up to 4 hours old, you still have ground disturbance, vegetable disturbance. You have both the heavy molecules on the ground, you have the light volatile molecules in the air. Those are the easiest scent-wise, but can be overwhelming to a dog that isn't used to that much scent. And sometimes those dogs will track a little ways off the track because it's just too strong on this track. Between 4 and 16 hours old is what I consider a normal track. And under normal conditions, not too dry, not too cold, the dogs do really well typically with those. Above 16 hours, some dogs have a hard time with. Some dogs have a hard time with 24 hours and up. And it's just because they don't have what we call a cold nose. Hot nose is fresh tracks, cold nose is old tracks. We've seen dogs do tracks up to like 50 hours old, 60 hours old. The average track we do is somewhere between 4 and 24. That would be our average track. The older tracks no longer have the crushed vegetation scent. The volatile light molecules have mostly blown away. They may be on the vegetation on either side of the track to one way or another, even 50 yards to one way or another. The heavy molecules will still be in the tracks themselves if there's tracks, but they will be degrading. And it takes, a lot more patience, a lot more reading your dog, and just a lot more work to do the older tracks for a lot of dogs. Some dogs have an easy time, but they're not the majority. Now, what is the scent that they're following? So a deer or bear leaves a scent picture. It's not just one thing. It's not just blood. So with a deer, you have the interdigital glands, you have all the other scent glands around their body, their heads, their legs, their body, dander from their fur, skin oils, urine, feces, breath, saliva, nasal secretions if they have any, and wound scent. So wound scent will be blood, serous fluid, the myoglobin from damaged muscles, and if anything internally has been damaged, whatever's leaking from that. That combined says this is the individual deer that we are tracking. Bears are all the same things except the interdigital glands. They have pad scent instead. And the dogs are following a scent picture. They're not following any one particular thing. Most of the tracks we do, there's no visible blood that we humans can see, or very minimal. It's not blood that they're tracking. That's part of the picture, but it's not the whole picture. Laying your own tracks to train your dog. What you are teaching your dog is that you want them to follow a deer scent. Typically we use legs or hide. So you've got, a little blood, a little serous fluid going on. You have the scent from whatever the item is you're using. But what we don't have is body heat. In a deer alive, the interdigital glands and all the glands on the head and face and in the body, they are held at a semi-liquid state, like an oil. And as the animal walks or rubs against things, that oil oozes out very slightly. In a cold, refrigerated, dead animal leg, we don't have that. And so we're missing the living oil parts. Yes, we can use liquid scent that we buy. There's several companies that make it. It's still not the same. It's a piece, but it's not the same. So what we're teaching the dog is the scent of the animal we want them to track, how we want them to track. Are we tracking on a leash in New Hampshire? We are. We are learning how to read the dog. We are teaching the dog how to handle distractions, terrain, structure, thermals, wind, roads, those sorts of things. How to go through a bedding area and stay on the same track We're just teaching the dog the basic skills, and then the dog takes those basic skills and fine-tunes it in the field. They learn how to judge the direction the animal's taking, and they do that because the further the track goes, the less light volatile scent there is, and the less the more volatile scent there is, and the more heavy molecules there are in the tracks. In the beginning, the oldest part of the track, the light volatile scent will have dissipated somewhat, and the heavy molecules will start to degrade. But the closer they get to the deer, the more of those there are. Now, with a really old track, all bets are off, because at that point, all the light molecules have dissipated. So an old track, a dog will have a harder time judging direction than they will a younger track. The other thing we can't work on is some of the behaviors that deer do. The backtracks, another deer running with them, picking up some of their wound scent and then branching off. We can attempt that, but we can't replicate it completely, no matter what product there is. But we do our best to train the dogs, then we get them out and we put them on tracks, and we are a team member and help support them through the tracks, and then they learn. And they learn really well. And they do some amazing things. And I hope this overview has been a little helpful. I've probably missed something. You probably have questions. Feel free to ask. Good luck.